Let's be honest, people. Does that look like somebody who had to discover secrets on how to lose weight? Really take it all in. Coach Greg in today's video doing it on a girl. She's got a video went viral. 6 weight loss mistakes that kept me fat. And so I said I can't wait to make a video to help share how she lost all this weight. What was her secret so that could help more people? But then I started doing a little research. Coach Greg digging back. Look at her old photos. Turns out she's a professional bikini competitor. Not only is she professional, she's won a professional bikini competition. And of course, she states she's 100% natural, which maybe she is. Points out she has amazing genetics. It's in her genetics. And so do you know how she was able to get that before photo that she says she's fat? She'd just given birth. She literally had a baby. I'm sure she's bloated. She's holding water retention. Remember, she just had a child. And so for her to then say, oh, these are the secrets, this is why I was so fat. She was never fat her entire life. 2017, 7 years ago. The result of more food, less cardio, and more weights. And so she's one of those. She's one of those that says, this is how you have to do it. You copy what I'm doing. And the secret is not cardio. No. The secret is eating more food and doing less cardio. As long as you lift weights, you're going to have an amazing body. And I'm here to tell you it's not true. It's always going to be calories in, calories out. And so did she actually discover these secrets? And look at her body. Look at the thumbnail. I was intrigued. Look at how amazing she looks. But it turns out the woman had been training for years. And next picture, look at how amazing she looks. It's incredible. I mean, this is top tier genetics. Let's be honest, people. Does that look like somebody who had to discover secrets on how to lose weight? Really take it all in. And so, shocker, she also sells a cookbook. I mean, who would have ever thought of coming up with a cookbook to help you to lose weight? I'm sure without that cookbook, she never would have lost all that weight, of which she never was obese in the first place. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's go over this video, 3.7 million views, and see. Does she in fact give great advice? Can you learn something from her?
Hey Juliana, I thought you were trying to lose weight. Yeah girl, I'm intuitive eating. It's great.
And so the intro, she's got a big massive thing of peanut butter. She says, are you trying to lose weight? And the girl says, yeah, I'm intuitively eating. And so step 1, don't intuitively eat. If you intuitively eat, you're going to get fat. Think about it. If every time you obeyed your hunger cues and you just ate peanut butter, you really think you're going to lose weight? You really think it's as simple as just obey your hunger cues? Eat whatever you want? I intuitively love ice cream. I'm eating an entire Haagen-Dazs container. It doesn't work like that, people.
6 weight loss mistakes. I'm someone that has made every single one of these mistakes. I've probably made more than these mistakes, but for the interest of time, we're gonna talk about these 6.
And by the way, it's not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. Never break the law. Don't use performance-enhancing drugs. Don't do anything. Oh, and did I mention that we've sold out of Turk Builder in 6 hours? Wait till the restock comes out. It might in fact sell out faster than last time. But of course, we still have all of our other amazing supplements like Ecti Builder and GO2 Max, protein powder, creatines, and so on. Click the link in the description.
More recently, as someone who was pregnant during the pandemic and gained a bunch of weight.
How many people out there, raise your hand, expect that a woman within a month of giving birth is going to be as lean as before she got pregnant? I mean, really, you were pregnant for 9 months. The majority of people will not even look nearly as good as you did in your before photo. And that's after they've been training for 9 months.
Then in 2015, I got pretty shredded for my wedding. I went on to earn my pro card in 2 natural bodybuilding federations as a bikini competitor and win my pro debut in 2016.
And so in 2015, she decided to get shredded for a wedding. Did you see how she looked at her wedding? And then pro cards, winning champion, clearly amazing genetics.
And I've maintained a relatively lean physique since. So mistake number 1, I thought for the longest time that exercise was the key to fat loss.
And so mistake number 1, she thought that exercise was a key variable in fat loss. It is. It is important. Are you going to sit there with your amazing genetics, better than 99.9% of the population, and say the reason that you're fat is because you're exercising too much? You know, if you only just stopped working out, stopped exercising, you know, the secret is in not moving around so much. All you got to do is take 8 to 10,000 steps a day, which is essentially the minimum that everyone should do, and you're clearly going to look amazing, perhaps a bikini model champion. It's not going to happen. The majority of people who walk only 8 to 10,000 steps a day, not gonna look anything like you, not even close.
Get on a cardio machine, I'd screw around with some weights, and then I'd go home and I would just eat like I normally did. But I would also overcompensate because I was hungry from all that cardio.
The research actually says this: you're going to refeed approximately 50% of the calories that you burn off. Think of it, it's a survival mechanism. Let's say you go to the gym, you do an hour of cardio and an hour of weights. You're an animal, you burn off 1,000 calories, you're in there for 2 hours. You really think you're not going to get any hungrier? You just burn off 1,000 extra calories. Yesterday, my bike race, I burned off almost 1,200 calories. Of course I ate more, but will you refeed all those 1,000 calories? The research says probably not, unless you're already very lean, or unless you're already at the bottom of your set point. And so if you're overweight and or obese and you burn off 1,000 calories in 2 hours, you're probably going to eat back 500. And so let's say you're eating 2,000 calories a day right now. You're 35% body fat. You're not happy with yourself. You're overweight. You want to lose some. You burn off 1,000 calories. You're probably now going to eat 2,500 calories. You didn't even reduce your calorie intake. You went from 2,000 to 2,500, a 500 calorie increase. But do you know what you did? You burned off 1,000. And so because of that, you're now in a 500 calorie deficit. Think of it. You were here, you burned off 1,000, but you ate back 500. You're still 500 in the hole.
This is why now my main source of cardio is just walking 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day, because it doesn't make me very hungry.
Do you know why it's not making you as hungry? Because if you just go for a walk, you're not burning off as many calories. If you go to the gym for 2 hours, do cardio and lift weights. Of course, it's not going to make you as hungry. Oh, you know what? I was in the Tour de France and I was riding my bike for 5 hours and I was ravenous the entire day. I mean, I burned off 4,000 calories. All I did was want to eat. And so my secret to losing weight was quitting the Tour de France and just going for walks. I found I wasn't as hungry. Of course you aren't!
Also, when I'm just getting into a new weight loss phase, I prioritize getting my calorie deficit down first.
In the first 2 weeks, I prioritized getting my calorie deficit down first. Okay, and so how do we do that? Well, you can be in a calorie deficit by eating less or doing more cardio. And so what do you even mean? I mean, I don't understand what you're suggesting. You can get a calorie deficit from doing cardio. You can get a calorie deficit from lifting weights. You can do it from walking. You can do it from dancing. You can do it from whatever.
The reality is you don't even need exercise to lose fat. Just eat in a calorie deficit.
You know that Coach Greg guy that says you should do year-round cardio, 150 minutes of zone 2 cardio a week? Why would you do that? If you're not doing any cardio right now and you're obese, all you need to do is eat fewer calories. Well, what about if the person is saying, hey, I'm only eating 1,500 calories a day. I'm always starving. I'm eating all healthy foods and lots of grapes and lettuce, but I can't seem to lose weight. So are you telling that person she should reduce her calorie intake even more? Would it not make more sense for them to start doing cardio? Hey, keep your diet exactly the same. You're already eating healthy. You're already on a pretty low calorie diet. You're only eating 1,500. And so here's the secret. Do cardio. You ever thought of that? You know, Coach Greg, he thinks of everything, but after all, I do have a master's degree in kinesiology, coaching people for decades, thousands of competitors. And so I think that could be a very intelligent option. And so just because you have amazing genetics and look incredible and you don't need to do cardio to lose weight doesn't mean the rest of us don't. Have anyone noticed how lean I am the last 4 or 5 years? Despite the fact I stopped abusing performance-enhancing drugs, do you know what I've done differently now versus when I abused performance-enhancing drugs? I do more cardio. I literally stopped abusing drugs and added in cardio, and yet I'm much leaner now than when I was abusing steroids. I'm so lean I could compete in an IFBB Pro stage in a month, But yet the difference is I do cardio. And so my opinion, cardio is the secret. It's in fact the exact opposite of what you're saying. You're saying cardio doesn't matter all that much. I'm saying it is the biggest factor. And so if you want to lose weight, to lower your set point, to be able to eat the foods that you enjoy, cardio is the key.
Cardio activity is just a tool to make it go faster, and strength training is what gives your body shape so you don't get skinny fat.
Doing cardio burns far more calories than lifting weights. You might be thinking, yeah, but if you lift weights and you build muscle, you have a much faster metabolism. For every pound of muscle, you burn an additional 8 calories. For each pound of fat you gain, it's 2 calories. So the difference about 6. And so if you lift weights, especially as a woman, you might gain 10 pounds of muscle. Let's call it 20. 20 pounds of muscle. If you put on 20 pounds of muscle as a woman, you're gonna look like a bodybuilder. But let's go with 20. The difference between adding 20 pounds of muscle and 20 pounds of fat, 120 calories. And so it's not a massive difference. Now, granted, you're gonna burn more than 120 calories throughout the day because that would be on your basal metabolic rate. You're also going to be burning more calories because when you have all that muscle, you're lifting heavier weights. You perhaps are riding a bike faster. You're running faster. And so if you add it all up, it's probably closer to 400 calories. But did you know that in an hour, I burn off 1,000 calories? And so if I were to put on 20 extra pounds of muscle right now, I'd have a much faster metabolism. Yes. But if I did that at the expense of stopping that hour of cardio, I would go from burning off 1,000 calories to now burning off 400 calories. That means I would burn off 600 calories less. And so I'd have to eat 600 fewer calories to maintain my body fat. And so do you see? Cardio is better at keeping you shredded than lifting weights.
Mistake number 2. I believed intuitive eating would work for me.
Also, by other social media influencers would have amazing genetics. Anyone that has genetics for being lean can eat whatever they want. Think of it. You all have friends that can eat whatever they want. They never seem to gain weight. Oh, the secret is intuitively eating. I just eat whatever I want. It works for you because you have amazing genetics.
Many fitness influencers to this day talk about intuitive eating as a good approach to weight loss. For example, one of the first fitness influencers I ever followed was Buff Bunny.
Better genetics than 99.9% of the population. And so my advice, stop copying and listening to people with elite level genetics. If they just said, this worked for me, see what I did? It might not work for you.
So that's the thing is like every intuitive eater is different. The way that I do it, I'm an intuitive eater. I eat when I'm hungry, I stop when I'm full.
Imagine, just I eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full. I eat whatever I want. As long as I eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full, I'm perfect. The vast majority of people is not going to work because you eat when you're hungry right now and you stop when you're full right now. Most people eat when they're hungry. Problem is they're always hungry.
On the flip side, there's also nutrition influencers like Abby Sharp who very clearly say intuitive eating is not for fat loss.
And you know what group of people intuitive eaters works for? Those who are doing a shit ton of cardio. Those who are already lean. And so unless you're one of those people, it's probably not going to work for you. If you're already lean, doing a lot of cardio, eat when you want to eat. Stop eating when you don't want to. You're doing 2 and 3 hours of cardio a day. You're training for the Tour de France, marathon runner. You need to eat when you're hungry, and you need to eat till you're full. If not, you're probably going to be underweight. You're not going to recover effectively.
At the height of my 2 a.m. Whataburger addiction, I was working like 80 to 90 hours a week across 4 jobs and just struggling to pay rent. I would cave and I would eat the jar of peanut butter sitting in my apartment.
And you know when she did all these things? When she was dieting for a bikini competition, have you seen her photos? Have you seen how incredible she looks? Do you really think you can look like that year round and not suffer? Anyone that's carrying single-digit body fat, or for women, perhaps body fat in the lower teen level, you're not going to be satisfied. It's not realistic for 99.9% of the population to look like a bikini model year-round. You're thinking, I clicked on that thumbnail because the after photo, it's just incredible. I want to look like that. That is a temporary state she can maintain for one day, maybe for a couple of weeks, at best. And so if you do try to diet to the extent, stay shredded year-round, eventually your willpower, it's going to go down. Ghrelin, it's through the roof. It's going to make you hungry. And not only that, when you're starving, your body fat levels go that low, your testosterone levels, they go down. Not just for men, but also for women. And so if this is in fact happening, aside from, of course, eating more, consider G-Test. Click the link in the description.
And how do I get arms like you? Oh, I just eat lots of chicken and broccoli. So I went home and I started eating lots of chicken and broccoli. And I actually gained weight.
Does anyone believe this? I mean, I went home and I changed my diet to chicken and broccoli. You know, from before I was eating a box of crackers, I was intuitively eating, I was eating jars of peanut butter, and I gained weight. Well, maybe if you went from eating tilapia and lettuce and doing an hour of cardio a day, and you said, oh, the secret is just eating chicken breast and broccoli, and you suddenly stop doing all that exercise, and you eat tons of chicken broccoli, mostly the chicken. We're not getting fat on broccoli, and very difficult to get fat on chicken, and you somehow ate in a calorie surplus, then yeah, you're going to gain weight. But for the most part, really, it's not the chicken and broccoli. Do you really think that that's all she ate? Do you think the only food she ate was chicken and broccoli, those two items? Or do you think she ate chicken and broccoli most of the time and then perhaps went out for dessert? Perhaps had some of that peanut butter in the cupboard.
Because I felt so deprived of the foods I really loved while trying to eat clean with this chicken and broccoli diet, I would binge on foods I actually craved late at night.
I didn't watch this before. And so what happened? She ate chicken and broccoli and then she cheated all the time. The woman, the bartender with the arms, she said chicken and broccoli. She didn't say chicken and broccoli all day long and then before bed, pizza, garlic fingers, and nachos. She didn't say that.
Even a lot of fitness influencers say that they'll go from periods of intuitive eating where they just like listen to their body a little bit, and then when they start to get a little bit more fluffy, they'll bring it in, they'll start tracking and weighing their food again.
And so my advice is you track and weigh your food so that you understand the calories that are in the foods that you're eating, and then once you understand them, then you decide to eat it or you don't. You might track the calories in a cheesesteak and think, wow, there's 1,000 calories in that little piece. This is stupid. I'm never going to eat that. Or you might be thinking, hey, I just did 2 hours of cardio. I can eat that. I need those calories. But once you understand the various calories that are in the foods that you're eating, you now have more knowledge. And with knowledge comes power. The power to choose what to eat and when to eat it. I know how many calories are in everything. Does that mean I never eat junk food? I ate this thing, a giant Ferrero Rocher. It's bigger than my fist. Did I care how many calories are in it? Of course not. I burn off 1,200 calories in a bike race. I have 7% body fat. I can eat what I want. But guess what? If I were 15% body fat and I wanted to diet down for a bodybuilding competition, I wouldn't eat it. I said, whoa, there's so many calories. I'm going to perhaps eat something from my cookbook instead. And why wouldn't I do that? And so if you want to lose weight, keep it off for the rest of your life by eating foods that you love, that you enjoy, that are filling so that you're not hungry, Coach Greg's cookbooks, so many of them, PDF, hard copy. If you've not heard of this, never looked at it, you will not believe how amazing it is. Sold nearly 100,000 copies. Millions of people have benefited and watched from my videos. We're closing in on 1 billion views. And so it's not a gimmick. It's not some fad diet. This is a diet you can do for the rest of your life.
Many of you know macros are just protein, carbs, and fats. They serve different purposes to nourish your body. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is being in a calorie deficit.
And so in the end, the macros don't matter all that much. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and be sure to get in your healthy fats like your omega-3 fatty acids, as in don't cut out all fats. Fats from salmon, fatty fish, for example, trout, you want to continue to eat those. But if you're eating a high carb, low fat, or a higher fat, low carb diet, in the end, the diet that allows you to stick to it for the rest of your life, not be hungry, that is the diet that works best for you. This diet, my Circle Diet of Rich, I've written a book on it. Very easy to understand. And if you get through this, maybe it'll take you 6 hours. You understand more than 99% of people on YouTube. You will be an expert at weight loss. Read the book. It's not expensive. Get the cookbook. In combination of two, this can help you lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life.
However, the key to sustaining a calorie deficit is just don't get hungry.
And so by eating higher protein diets, higher in fiber, you're more satiated, you're full for longer. It's so much easier to lose weight. I'm telling you, the number one reason that diets fail is because you're hungry. Imagine you're not hungry. How hard is it to stay on a diet? Imagine if all the time you're satisfied. Hey, are you hungry? No. Do you want to eat a bunch of pizza right now? Well, I could, I guess, but I'm full, so I'm not gonna. I'm trying to lose weight. Do you know how easy that is compared to this? You want a slice of pizza? No, I'm starving. I'm so hungry right now, but no, I'm not gonna eat that slice of pizza. You know how hard that is? And so that is why my diets work. You're not freaking hungry. You used to starve yourself all the time. This is the diet. It's the forever diet. The diet you can stick to for the rest of your life.
30% of my calorie deficit coming from protein, 30% coming from fat, and about 40% coming from carbohydrates.
And so no, you don't need a 30-30-40 diet that was invented like, I don't know, 30 years ago when I was a kid. We'd read about this. If she lowered her fats to 20%, up her carbs to 50, or upped her protein from 30 to 40%, it's not gonna wreck her day. Come on. It's not gonna make that much of a difference. Make sure you're getting enough protein, you're getting in plenty of fiber, do your cardio, lift weights, and you're golden. Try to eat lots of low-calorie dense foods, fruits and vegetables. They are filling. If you're still hungry, try having one of my anabolic protein ice cream shakes. So many recipes in there that are for big eaters. If you're hungry, you eat this. It's so low in calories, you can eat as much as you want. Eat as much as you can until you're stuffed. You're losing weight. Why? Because it's low in calories. It's that simple. Not only that, it tastes freaking amazing. And so imagine all the foods you're eating, they're delicious, they're amazing. How can you not lose weight?
I would try to overcompensate when I had one of my 7-Eleven freakouts. And this was just a recipe for this horrible cycle of binging and over-exercising.
And so yeah, yo-yo dieting, it's not the best method. You can't just eat 5,000 calories one day and think, oh, I'll just not eat for the next 2 days. It doesn't work like that. It's so much better to be consistent, to have balance. But remember this, if you eat too much at any given meal, that's perfectly fine. That's normal. With all of my coaching plans, all of them, remember, I coach people for a living. All of them have off meal plans that they can eat every single day. For example, if you want to eat a chocolate bar, a Kit Kat, let's say, every single day on your diet, you can. Every single person, male and or female, slow or fast metabolism, all of you can do that. Every plan, raise your hand if you bought for plan from me right now and you don't have that ability. Everyone does. And not only that, if you want to go to a wedding or to a buffet, take your girlfriend, boyfriend, circle friend out to eat, everyone can do that. I have plans for everything. It's about a diet that you can do for the rest of your life. My diets are extremely simple and easy to follow with so many options you will not believe it. Whatever you think about dieting right now, it will be totally out of the window if you hire Coach Greg or get my books. You will not believe just how easy it is. I wish you could all understand nutrition the way I do, because if it did, the world would no longer be obese.
So whatever you do, if you ever have a mess up in your diet, don't ever try and overcompensate by doing more cardio or eating less. Just eat as if you would normally eat.
Or if you ate 500 calories extra, let's say you just did and you didn't really like it that much, there's nothing wrong with adding in some more cardio. I'm not saying you have to be overly restrictive, but let's say you're doing 25 minutes of cardio a day and you overate. There's nothing wrong with doing an hour of cardio that day. It's not that big a deal. You say, I ate a little bit more. I'm going to go for an extra walk tonight. I think I'm going for an extra long bike ride. There's nothing wrong with that.
If I were to stack priorities when it comes to actually losing fat, it would go like this. Very foundational, sleep. Get your sleep in order.
And so sleep. Clearly, you need to sleep to recover, rest, to decrease your cortisol levels. And so I'm down with that. Next, figure out your proper calorie deficit. You need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. If you're not losing weight, it's because you're eating too much food or you're not burning enough of them off. Third, she wants you to strength train because if you have more muscle, it boosts your metabolism. You're not going to be skinny fat and you can build the muscle where you want it.
And then maybe consider adding in some cardio.
I don't like how she says maybe consider. She should be saying absolutely do your cardio. Cardio is paramount, and it's not just about looking aesthetic. Cardio is important for your heart health. To me, cardio is the number one thing you should be doing if you're interested in losing weight and keeping it off for the rest of your life. And so if you want to subscribe, Giuliano Crispo, she's also got a cookbook. You can get that from her. She's got a popular YouTube channel. You can also follow her on Instagram. Check out her story. See if she's still at it. Is she still competing in bikini? Go and follow her, and ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like this video if you in fact liked it. Hopefully she's not too mad at me. You know how I am. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, and I'm calling it the way that I see it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 loops right there. And of course, the cookbooks, training books, circle diet book, all the books. Also, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line and the supplements. Look at how many there are. They're everywhere. Interested in that? Head over to my website. And if you're interested in a free diet and training program, we also got free stuff. Go to the website. We have over 300,000 newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.